Hey guys, welcome back, and this is Cooking with Evangeline. So today we are going to celebrate Haitian Heritage Month by cooking one of my favorite meals, du blanc sauce pois avec légumes. Yes, which is just vegetable stew with white rice and a black bean sauce. So in the pot, I'm gonna start off making my bean. I have scallions, garlic, salt, and pepper, and oil to boil. So I'm going to boil that until the beans get soft. And I'll come right back to that pot. So in this pot, I'm going to start browning my meat. I'm going to add the oil. Wait until it gets hot. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar, and what the sugar does actually is you cook it off a little bit. It's like a little secret, you know what I'm saying? And my mama taught me. You cook it off until it gets brown, but not burnt, but brown. It has like a nice amber color. And then you put your meat in it so it can give your meat some color faster. Okay, right here you can see how it's starting to, I guess, caramelize, will get browner. You want it just a little bit darker so that you can add your meat, which I'm going to do right about now. Boom. And then I decided to make beef with my vegetable stew. You can pretty much add anything that you want. Some people make it a whole seafood. They add shrimp, crab leg. Oh, I love me some crab legs in my legumes. Is it? It's been a while. Maybe next time. Okay. But I had beef and shrimp, I think I mixed, which is like two crazy combinations, but whatever. I had beef. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and sear the beef off so it can get a nice brown color. I'm going to fast forward the video so you can see what I'm talking about once I turn the meat over. Alright, right here, see how when I turn it over, turn over the beef, you can see a nice brownish color. Like, this is what you want. This is what you want your meat to look like. So yeah, you just let that cook for a good, I say a couple minutes before you start adding your vegetables to it. That's how I was taught how to do it. Other people cook their vegetables separate and then add it to it, but I'm gonna just put everything in one pot and cook it all in one time and then separate it later. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, see, this is the color that I'm going for. Now that I let it fry for a little bit, turned it a couple of times, I'm gonna add a little bit of water, even though my mama told me not to, because the vegetables are gonna make its own water, but I did anyway, despite what she said. Sorry, mommy. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get my vegetables ready and start adding that into the pot. So I'm putting the veggies in a pot, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what vegetable that is. But when you're boiling your vegetables with the meat, you put the hard vegetables on the bottom first, so the ones that take a little bit longer, and then you build up to the softer vegetables. So here are my eggplant. I know that one. That's the eggplant right there. I made sure I peeled it and then diced them. Smaller cubes if you want to. It makes it easier for when everything boils. You can like crush it up later. Here are my carrots that I added. Depending on, I guess, what type of vegetables you like. I don't know. These are the basics. I'm adding cabbage, and then I realized after I added the cabbage that I forgot to add my épices. So I'm gonna put some épices right on top of the cabbage. Please do not crucify me for doing this. This is just me trying. Okay, so after I put the épices, I think I put a little bit of black pepper on top of that, and then I hit it with a bunch of spinach for a couple of reasons. One, I'm anemic, so I need to get as much iron as I possibly can, and two, it makes, for me, it makes the legume taste good. So spinach it is. The more green, the better. Right after that, I'm going to close mi pot and let that cook down pretty much. Yep. All right, so here I am preparing the beans for my sauce pois noir. I pretty much separated some of the beans from each other, half and half, and the water, mashed it up, um, took the water from the beans and poured it back into the beans, like you can see here. And I took a strainer and I strained all of that leftover sauce so I can get like a nice thick consistency. After I did that, I went ahead and threw that away, the top part, and this is what I was left with. This is your bean sauce. This is your base, pretty much. Right, scrape the bottom. Just checking to see how thick it is. It's thick enough for me. Went and checked on my legume real quick to see what the vegetables were looking like, and they were looking pretty cooked. I gave it a couple more minutes before I actually separated the veggies from the meat. Okay, so back to my bean sauce. So now I'm going to go ahead and add onions to a pot with oil to cook that for a little bit, and I put some épices into that as well. And we're going to throw in the beans that I had set to the side. Mix that up, and then okay, right here I'm gonna mettre un petit piment, which is just a habanero pepper. I'm not gonna cut into it or nothing, just gonna drop it in there. And then I'm going to add the bean sauce that I just strained. After I do that, you can actually bring it to a boil and then taste it to see if it's missing anything. If you need salt, you add salt. If you need pepper, you add pepper. Whatever flavorings you want. I think I put a thyme in there, just to give it a little extra. But pretty much cover it, boil it, and let it get to the consistency that it needs to get to. Yeah, and that's your sauce bar. So now, back to the legume. Back to the legume. Here I am going to separate the vegetables from the meat, the beef that I cooked. I'm gonna let the beef cook a little bit longer. I'm gonna take the vegetables, put them in a bowl to the side, and pretty much mash the vegetables up. As you can see here, I started mashing it up with a spoon, and then I decided to get one of those mashing ladle thingies instead. It was a lot faster to do with this. Okay, so in my pot, I did take the beef out. I'm gonna saute some onions and tomatoes. Sous Chef Jojo here.
What you
wanted
want?
to say hello, of course. Always in the kitchen with me. Always in the kitchen with me.
Exactly.
Okay, back to this pot. So I'm gonna put the meat back into that mixture, and then after I put the meat back into the mixture, mix it up a little bit, and then add my vegetables. So I'm just gonna let this video go so you can see exactly what I'm doing, because I think I talked enough for this video. Oh, here I put some tomato paste, and I'm probably gonna add a little bit more spices here and there. So let me just let this video go ahead and go so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, you can see I added a little bit of Scotch bonnet pepper sauce, even though I do have a Scotch bonnet in there as well. Just to give it a little kick, because we like stuff a little bit on the piqué side, which means on the hot side. And this is pretty much what the legume looks like. I did end up adding shrimp. These were already fully cooked, so I didn't have to like cook them too long. I just mixed it in there, and that was pretty much the end result of my legume. Thank you guys for tuning in. It took me forever to actually edit this video because I was having really technical difficulties with my phone, but I really do appreciate you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more Haitian cuisines from your girl.